Hello folks, and welcome to this week's Music Alerts. I have some vinyl for you, but before we get to that point, here's some CDs. First up on CD, we have the krautrock greats Guru Guru. They've been around since 1968, and they're still going on UK's repertoire label because they have a brand new album, and it's called The Incredible Universe of Guru Guru. It's an 11-tracker. It's a CD, of course. It's presented in a digipack sleeve. It comes with a 10-page booklet as well. As I say, a brand new album. Couldn't really believe it myself. Now, I've only listened to this one briefly. I haven't really lived with it for too long, but I like this. This is a band who have lost nothing of the adventure, the inherent groove, the grit, and the soul. Yeah, I like it. Next, from the Sony imprint Floating World, is a collection of late-period muddy waters contained in one box set. Well, it's one of those large jewel cases, and you don't really see these things much nowadays. It's kind of nice to see them. It's a bit of nostalgia, I suppose. The 3 CDs featured here include Hard Again from 1977, a very nice album indeed, created with Johnny Winter in tow, and including people like Pinetop Perkins and James Cotton. 1978's I'm Ready was another goodie, again with Winter and including new and old material. And finally, yet another Winter-backed album, King Bee, doesn't quite hit the same heights as the first two, although it's very much recommended to fans, and it's filled with great supporting players like Calvin Jones and Bob Margolin. Next up, we have a kind of debut for Germany's Stockfish label. The album in question is Paul Stephenson's new LP, Wireless Days, presented in a rather fetching hardback book cover and containing a dual-layer disc, that is, CD and essay CD. This is very much a singer-songwriter album. It includes Stephenson's own clear and simple vocal delivery. Sometimes he just has his acoustic guitar with him. On occasion, he will also have supporting melodic voices and subtle backing. This is a low-key, rather easy-going album. Next up, we have a trio of releases from Soul Music Records. First up, we have Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, and they have an album collection here. Specifically, 4 albums in a multi-gatefold digipack. First of those 4 is What Love Has Joined Together from 1970. This will prove to be a busy year, as we'll see. It's a kind of love-based, wedding-related concept album, and it's particularly good. A Pocket Full of Miracles was their next album, same year, 1970, and the group actually engages, shock horror for the Miracles, in socially conscious material, and that carries over to the 3rd album in this set. Released originally in 1971, it's called 1 Dozen Roses. Finally, album number 4, Flying High Together in 1972, that was the original release, and sadly this was the last studio recording they did as a group. And it kind of stuttered a little, but I'm sure the fans will love it. The next soul music collection is from the Sal Soul Orchestra, covering material from 1975 to 1978. Subtitled It's Good For You, and quite possibly it very well might be. This clamshell box contains 8 CDs plus a 39-page booklet. Now, this outfit is a kind of disco big band. Sometimes you would get 50 members in this band. So, yeah, definitely a big band. Kind of music you're going to expect to hear: Philly soul, Latin, and funk. Vince Montana, because this is the Vince Montana years, I must add, did work with some of the greats. He knew his stuff. He would play with people like the Spinners, he played with people like the OJs, and many, many more. This collection features 6 albums and lots of bonus material. And I have one more soul music release for you. It's from Nina Simone. It's called Blackbird, and it's the well, it's basically the Col-Pix collection, and it spans 1959 to 1963, and it includes 8 CDs, 8 albums basically, plus bonus tracks on some of those albums. Expect to find the amazing Nina Simone from 59, Nina Simone at Town Hall, 59, Nina at Newport from 1960, Forbidden Fruit, 1961, Nina at the Village Gate, 1962, Nina Simone Sings Ellington in 62 as well, was it? Yeah, I think it was 62. There's also Nina Simone at Carnegie Hall in 63, and Folksy Nina, recorded in 63 but not released until 64, plus 29 bonus tracks consisting of single edits, non-LP sides, and other material found in the Col-Pix tape vaults. They were found in the early 2000s, I must add. Next up, we have 2 rather swish-looking CDs from Evosound. Now, like the earlier Stockfish production, both of these releases are available as dual format discs. That is, they will play in CD players and they will also play in SA CD players. Both are featured in very nice Super CD dual cases, and both are inserted into outer sleeves. They look rather gorgeous. First up is a rather quirky release from Susan Wong. It's called Chameleon, I think it's Chameleon, and it features, well, laid-back vocal jazz. Susan Wong has a very nice voice indeed, and what she's done is she's reworked a number of 70s and 80s hits, and it's a bit strange. So you get Karma Chameleon, Culture Club's Karma Chameleon, and that's a little bit odd. You also get You Spin Me Round Like a Record, and that's slightly bizarre. Then there is Dancing in the Moonlight, which is fun, and then you get the Pet Shop Boys' It's a Sin, which works very well indeed, and Just the Two of Us, which is a triumph. This release, well, it's a bit of a roller coaster, I suppose you'd say. It combines the very good indeed with the deliciously bad. But it's never boring. Also on Evosound, Foreplay was formed in 1991 as a quartet of smooth jazz players. So you had elegant melodies and rich harmonies. This is exactly what rich chocolate sauce sounds like. There are 4 studio musicians in this group, and all of them have played behind many of the greats of the scene, including George Benson, Herbie Hancock, Barry White, Grover Washington, and many, many more. Between the Sheets, this particular album was released 30 years ago. To celebrate, the album has been remastered. This one, well, the music itself, it's all about feel rather than meat. It's all about romance rather than hardcore technique. If you're planning a hot and steamy evening, candlelit dinner, wine, maybe looking to peel a few grapes, soft lights, this is your album. First up in vinyl terms and reissued via Crass Records comes Alternative, and in nomine patri, I hope I've said that right, originally released in 1982. This is Scottish anarcho-punk. We have political slogans. We have anti-war rhetoric, very attractive high-energy rock, wildly slashing guitars, all over 4 tracks with names like Antichrist and Moral Bondage. You get the idea. Also reissued from the Crass label is D&V, The Nearest Door, from 1983. This is a 7-tracker. The presentation is rather drum heavy and quite attractive, and the lead vocal, well, intriguingly, it spouts more poetry than anti-government bile. It's an intriguing direction for a punk band. Moving away from Crass Records now and towards London Records and the one and only Blancmange, and everything is connected The Best of Blancmange 1979 to 2024, pressed in this particular case on bottle green transparent vinyl, and including such ditties as Living on the Ceiling, The Day Before You Came, Waves, Blind Vision, and you know what? I'd forgotten the band had created so much good stuff. Blimey. Anyway, there is more to come on this because this is a 10-track collection, essential if you're a vinyl fan. But there are more tracks on the CD version because there's a 2 CD version and that features 38 tracks. If you're a fan, get both. Finally, may I present to you the first pressing on coloured vinyl, termed the Loser Edition. I don't know why, but that's what it's called, the Loser Edition, of Carrot on Strings from the experimental rock outfit Man Man. This is the group's 7th album. This sometimes free-form album outing never fails to explore the dark, the weird, the dissonant, and the plain quirky corners of rock, and emerges somehow alive and well. And that's it, folks. Thanks for staying to the end of this particular video. Before you go, though, can you do me a big favor? Down below, just click on the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't done so already. I would be rather pleased, and I would thank you very much from the bottom of the old heart. Further down, if there are any links, any Bandcamp links that necessarily have to be there, I will put them down there. Also, my own links regarding my Facebook group, which you're welcome to join, my website. Please check it out. There's all kinds of other music stuff over there you won't find here. And my Patreon page too. Again, lots of music-related features and videos and stuff. Also, an exclusive video called Hi-Fi News, etc. that appears there every single week. Check it all out. It's all good stuff over there. I'll be back this time next week, and I hope to have your company. Until then, folks, bye-bye for now.